These are the new Sony WF-1000 XM6s. Quite the name, but they are Sony's latest high-end noise-canceling earbuds that frankly are better than AirPods Pro 3 in several ways. They have incredible sound quality. I think they beat AirPods Pro 3 at noise canceling, but there are a couple major caveats. They're almost $100 more expensive than AirPods Pro 3. You are giving up some Apple ecosystem things like Find My. You can connect them to up to 2 devices simultaneously, but you don't get that seamless switching you do with AirPods and all your Apple devices. But that sound quality and noise canceling might be worth it. I tested in many scenarios, outside, grocery store, even with my wife playing rather loud flute, and I was genuinely impressed. So in the box, you get the new XM6 earbuds. We'll come back to the case and the earbuds themselves in a moment, but underneath that, you do get several size ear tips. They have the mediums already, and they also come with extra small, small, and large ear tips. And Sony puts a cable in the box, but it's a USB-A to USB-C. We don't need that. Now looking at the actual case that the earbuds come in, the USB-C port on the back with an actual button for pairing, and you'll see the case is kind of the same height as the AirPods Pro 3, but it is definitely thicker and it has more hard edges than the rounded AirPods Pro 3 case. It's also an interesting texture. It's almost like paper-like rather than just a hard plastic. It gives it a nice look, this matte finish, but it definitely feels a certain way. This is what it sounds like, if that gives you any idea. Now we're going to get more into the shape of the earbuds in a minute, but they're rather bulbous. They're a different kind of shape. They don't have the stem that goes downward like AirPods Pro, so they're a little more discreet while they're in your ear, but they are definitely chunkier and your comfort may vary. You can see these very different takes. Both of these are the left earbud, the Sony's, which will have the bulbous area kind of going up and out, where the AirPods Pro 3, the stem is where a lot of that battery and obviously where the controls are as well. Now when AirPods Pro 3 came out, I actually really liked them. In my review, I actually said I prefer them to AirPods Pro 2. I know it's pretty divisive. Some people really like how the 2s sound, but I like the 3s, and I found the fit of the AirPods Pro 3 that has a little bit of foam cushion inside a silicone tip makes the fit so I don't need to use third-party ear tips. The noise canceling on AirPods Pro 3 also significantly improved over the AirPods Pro 2. It was a noticeable difference. But compare that to the Sony XM6s, the noise canceling on these are incredible. Now both the AirPods Pro 3 and the XM6 earbuds, they're great at those constant low noises like an airplane engine, rain, coffee noise, just regular white noise kind of stuff. But the XM6s really shine when there's either conversation or kind of random, not even noise. So I wore them in the same room as my wife practiced the flute. She's the principal flutist of an orchestra. She's pretty incredible. Also played the last concert from her iPad using the Fourscore app, which is pretty cool. And while I would still hear some of the very highest notes when they would kind of come out of nowhere, the Sony XM6 earbuds did a phenomenal job of canceling that noise out most of the time. Also, whenever there was conversation in the same room, and when I wore these to the grocery store, the noise canceling definitely beat the AirPods Pro 3 noticeably. Now for as good as that noise canceling is, I do not prefer the transparency mode for the XM6s. I find the transparency on AirPods, pretty much all the AirPods, feels like a more natural, you're just hearing the room around you through the AirPods. The XM6s, it feels like you're listening to the room through a microphone, which you are, but I like how the transparency sounds better on AirPods than XM6s. But when it comes to sound profile, if you get a good fit with the XM6s, and some reviewers have said that it's hard to get these tips of the XM6 to fit nicely in their ear, you can ask Sony for a pair of silicone tips, because the tips that actually come with the XM6s, they're kind of this foamy material, not silicone. They're a little squishy, and for me at least, that helps with some of the noise canceling and seal in my inner ear canal. But again, you can request silicone tips from Sony directly or get some third-party tips like from Comply. By the way, if you want to see if these headphones are in your budget, the best way to track your money is with Monarch. I've been using Monarch for the last several months. I still love having their widget right here in the Today view so I could see my recent transactions across all my accounts, credit cards, banking accounts. You can even connect your investment accounts. Monarch syncs with over 13,000 plus institutions, letting you see your entire financial picture in one app. Monarch syncs with over 13,000 plus institutions. There's no ads and no data selling with Monarch. You get one clean dashboard to see your accounts, your spending, your net worth, even debt payoff programs. And there's flexible budgeting. Separate fixed and flexible spending, customize rules and categories, keep everything organized without rigidity. I also love this cash flow view, so you can see both your expenses and income by merchants, by group, or see everything broken down into categories. Plus, you get AI-powered insights. Monarch uses your real financial data to surface helpful insights and explanations about your money. Plus, it's couples ready. You can share this with a partner so you can both see your financial picture at a glance, keep track of all those recurring transactions so you can cancel those streaming services when you're done, and it's cross-platform, beautiful everywhere, the Monarch app on your iPhone or even the web. So scan the QR code right here and you can get 50% off your first year of using Monarch. That link will also be in the video description. I've been using Monarch for months now. I really love it, being able to see all my transactions and financial picture in one place. So scan here or click the link down below. That's 50% off your first year of Monarch. And my thanks to Monarch for sponsoring this video. But when it comes to sound quality, both bass response, soundstage, and just overall quality, I think the XM6s beat the AirPods Pro 3 again. I listened to a lot of my usual songs, and I was also listening to Christina Warren's End of the World playlist. It's actually a really great playlist. I'll link that in the video description below. But pretty much any music that I enjoyed listening to, whether it's movie scores, funk, jazz, or classical, the Sonys overall just sounded better. And you get more granular controls over things like the EQ in the Sony app, which that's where we start getting to the caveats. To adjust all the settings, you need to go to the Sound Connect app here on your iPhone. Now the earbuds show up right in the Sony app, no problem there. I have a manual EQ set here. There are many places here in the app where it's just buggy. Like if you go into this ambient sound control page, all of a sudden you can't go back to the main menu. Even tapping the back arrow in the top left doesn't get you back to the Home tab. I can go to the other tabs here in the app and even click the very left tab again, but it just won't let me back. I actually have to force quit the app, not something I recommend. And then after force quitting the app, then you'll be back on that main Home tab. Surely that can be fixed with an app update, but just kind of unfortunate. Also, while I was grocery shopping, I noticed several times where the noise canceling would stop and then it would just go into transparency mode. Well, that's a feature called adaptive sound control. If you have this toggled on, it will actually try to anticipate what you're doing. You also have to enable location. And here, if you optimize switching for you, it will detect whether you're staying still. And you can actually look in the app while you're moving around and it will show you what it thinks you're doing. And sometimes it will just switch into the transparency mode or ambience mode just randomly, not even when someone's talking to you. Once I discovered that, I just turned this off entirely and then it acted more like I wanted it to. Stayed in transparency or noise canceling unless I changed it. So if you notice that happening, make sure to switch adaptive sound control off. Here, I do have it connected to multiple Apple devices so I could start playing from my phone or my iPad and it will automatically just connect to it. And like I mentioned, you can EQ this. Here I have my manual EQ set up and it does sound really good. So the buggy app, kind of a half strike on that, but in order to control the earbuds like play, pause, and activate noise canceling or transparency, it is a touch sensitive surface. You can program 1, 2 taps or tapping and holding, and you can have various controls. But because of the shape of the earbuds and it's kind of touching your entire ear, every time I pressed on it, I'm pressing the whole earbud into my ear canal and into my ear. It's not hard, it doesn't take a lot of force, but I didn't find it super comfortable, and I think I prefer the actual stem controls on the AirPods Pro rather than having to touch the big surface. Because they are rather large, hitting that surface isn't hard. I never had any trouble finding where to touch, but you are pushing that entire earbud whenever you need to play, pause, turn on noise canceling or transparency, or some other action. Also, I finally have gotten used to adjusting volume on AirPods Pro 3, which is swiping up and down the stem. Feels very natural, it's easy to do, I can do it consistently now. Adjusting the volume with these, you either have to do a double tap or that tap and hold, and you can program, volume up on the right, volume down on the left, but I find that swiping on the stem for volume control better on the AirPods Pro 3. And one other strike on the XM6s is the microphone quality. I recorded a short video using the Blackmagic camera app so I could choose the XM6s as the audio input. I did not apply any voice isolation or noise canceling. This is just what the earbuds are doing on their own, and here's what it sounds like.
The audio you're hearing now is from the Sony XM6 1000s. I'm recording with the Blackmagic camera app, so I can actually choose them as the audio input for this video. I'm not going to apply any voice isolation or background noise canceling. I have a waterfall in the background. I'm recording outside. So these are what the microphones sound like from the headphones directly into my iPhone video.
So outgoing call quality might not be great. It's listenable and it's definitely canceling some noise, but it is super processed. That always might be changed in a firmware update, but as it stands, call quality going out on the earphones, not super great. And like I mentioned, if you're in the Apple ecosystem, you're not going to get things like Find My or some of that easy switching that you get with the AirPods. So, should you get the new Sony WF-1000 XM6s or stick with the AirPods Pro 2 or 3? I was really torn because I actually love the sound that these Sony XM6s give. The noise canceling is significantly and noticeably better, especially in those situations like a flute playing if you're ever in that scenario. And I overall just enjoyed listening to things more in these headphones because of that sound quality. But because it doesn't have the Find My or the Apple ecosystem features, the app is a little buggy, microphone quality outgoing, not great, and pushing it into my ear to control it, I just don't prefer it. I'll be sticking with AirPods Pro 3. I was really close and on the fence of maybe making these my default earbuds because of how good that noise canceling and sound quality is. Right now, I'm going to stick with AirPods Pro 3. It was a very close call, and if you don't really care for AirPods Pro 3 or you're not in the Apple ecosystem, these earbuds are pretty incredible. Again, they are more expensive than AirPods Pro 3, $330. They do come in black or platinum silver. You can also get them on Amazon. They've been on a couple sales already. I'll put an affiliate link down in the video description. But aside from those few quirks, man, these are really nice earbuds. But let me know if you have some earbuds that you really love or want to know about. Let me know down in the comments, and get subscribed and hit that like button. Do lots of audio reviews here. Got some device reviews coming up next week. And I ordered a couple things from Apple last week that you're going to see here on the channel very soon. Also, if you're interested in automation and shortcuts, I would love if you join my shortcuts community. You can join at shortcut.bot. Over 4,000 people have joined. And not only do we talk about shortcuts, but we're getting a little bit into automation with things like Claude Cowork, because I have a weekly live stream just for members every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Would love if you join. I'll leave a couple videos up here that YouTube thinks you'll really like. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.